So we've built a really simple world. Could hardly be simpler. What happens? Let's look at the behavior in this world. And we'll start with this guy. He's a good farmer. He's strong. That's not very complicated. If he doesn't farm, he's going to go hungry. So there's a pretty strong incentive to farm. So he farms. He's productive. He produces stuff. If we go to the guy in the opposite quadrant, he's a lousy farmer, he's weak. He's going to be in trouble, come what may. Right? He's going to go hungry. He'll probably even get weaker, I suppose. This guy up here, he's productive. He's weak. He says, that doesn't matter. I can still be a good farmer. I'm going to grow some crops. Okay, so three of them. It's very straightforward. All the action here is this guy, a lousy farmer, but he's strong. Put yourself in that position. You're a lousy farmer, but you're strong. What do you do? And what's the answer? Well, if he's a complete idiot, he tries to grow crops and he doesn't do a good job, and he goes hungry whilst he looks across into the neighbouring fields and sees these guys have got loads of crops. They're eating and he's not. But if he's got a brain, he's going to look across at this guy and say, he's growing a lot of food and I'm stronger than he is. And he's got to go across to that guy's field and say, give some to me. Maybe he'll say please, and maybe he won't. Trouble is, remember, there's no state. There's no authority above these four people. And so the sensible thing is for this guy to say, you give me the food or I beat you up. Now, what we've generated is two types of economic activity. So this is Political Economy 101. One type of activity is production. If there's no production in this society, they will die. But the other type of economic activity is a rational use of violence. This guy, his rational strategy is not to waste his time being a lousy farmer. It's to be violent, be predatory on this guy who can't stand up for himself. So, how does Political Economy 101 differ from Econ 101, the first chapter in a textbook of economics? And the answer is that Econ 101, it doesn't tell you, but actually it presupposes that there's a state. And that state is going to maintain order. If this guy starts threatening violence, in Econ 101, there's an offstage policeman who comes and stops him, knowing that he doesn't threaten it. He just struggles and tries to produce. But we're not in an Econ 101 world. We're in a Political Econ 101 world. And that world isn't very nice. It's anarchy. This guy can try and appeal to morality and say, it's not fair. There is no higher moral order in this world whereby this guy says, oh, you're quite right, sorry, I won't do that. His rational strategy is the strategy he adopts. So, Econ 101 assumes a world of order, but that's not how the world starts. It doesn't start like that in our little world. It didn't start like that anywhere in the world. The world didn't start from order, it started from anarchy. Some parts of the world have gradually built up order, a centralized state. Others are still struggling to do that. A good book which shows the gradual decline in violence is Steve Pinker's The Better Angels of Our Nature. There are several books which trace the history of violence over very long periods, but I recommend Steve's. So it takes a 2,000-year plus sweep, starting from very high levels of violence. The world of anarchy was really not a nice place to be. Yeah? We might imagine it was a Rousseau-type world of happy peasants all loving each other. The actual evidence from archaeology and such like is that the ancient world really wasn't like that. There were very high rates of mortality from violence. Gradually, over the centuries, that very high level of violence has diminished. Not continuously, and certainly not automatically. And we're going to see the process by which we might expect violence to diminish, order to build up.